May we proceed now?
Well,
Right. Is the observer different from that which is observing?
yes, well,
That is the
that's
real
the question.
question.
Yes, well, you could say that's the root of the power of the image.
Yeah,
Then.
yes. You see, sir, what happens? If there is a difference between the observer and the observed, there is that interval of time
Yes.
in which other activities go on.
Well, yes, in which the brain sort of eases itself into
Yes.
something more pleasant,
Yeah,
would you say?
yes.
But, yes, that's all right.
And where there is a division, there is conflict. So you are telling me to observe in a different way, learn the art of observing, which is that the observer is the observed.
Yes, but I think we could look, first at our whole tradition, you see, our whole conditioning, which is the observer is different from the observed. In other
course.
words, we perhaps should look at that for a while,
Yes.
because that is what everybody feels.
Yes, that the observer is different.
Yeah, and and I think it ties up with what I was saying yesterday about reality.
Yes.
Saying there's a reality, everything we think is reality of some kind, you see, because at least it's thought, real thought. But there is we make a distinction in reality between that reality which is self-referent, self-sustaining, it stands independent of thought, and the reality which is sustained by thought, right?
Yes. Reality is sustained by thought.
And the reality which may have been made by man, but it stands by itself, like the table, or else like nature, which
is different
it's
from.
different.
Yes, that we went through the.
And now
idea.
the observer, ordinarily we think that when I'm thinking of myself, that self is a reality which is independent of thought. Do you see? Isn't
Yes, we think that's independent of thought.
that self is the observer, who is a reality,
Quite.
who is independent of thought and who is thinking, who is
Yes.
producing thought.
But it is the product of thought.
Yes, but that's the confusion.
Yes, quite.
Now, but
Are you telling me, sir, as an outsider, that the observer is the result of the past?
yes, one can see that.
My memories, my experiences, all the rest of the past.
Yeah, but I think if we think of the viewer now, he might find it a little hard to follow that if he hasn't gone into it. You see,
very hard, I think. How to communicate to
How about it be fairly simple?
what do you mean?
Don't you live in the past?
Right. I think I
Wait,
think
no,
I exist in
no,
the
no,
past.
no. Your life is the past.
Right.
You are living in the past,
Right.
right?
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Past memories, past experience.
Past memories, past becoming,
And,
trying to
and
become.
from the past you project the future.
That's
Hope.
right.
Hope will be better.
Right.
I'll be good. I'll be different.
Right.
It's always from the past to the future.
That's right. That's how it's lived.
Now I want to see that past is the me. Of course.
but it does look as if it's something independent, just that you're looking at. I mean,
Is it independent?
it isn't, but to see that maybe.
I know, that's what we're asking.
That's
Is
difficult.
the me independent from the past?
It looks as if the me is here looking at the past.
Yes, of course. Quite.
It
The me
looks-
is in a jar.
Right. The
in
me
a
is in a
cage,
jar.
and that's looking
Right.
quite.
That's right.
You
But
see,
the me is the product of the past.
Right. You can see that, but what is that jump that we go through where we say the me is, I can say to you, I can see that I am the product of the past. I can see that.
How do you see it?
intellectually.
I see it intellectually.
And then you don't see.
Right, that's what I'm coming to.
Now
because
then
I
you are
see-
playing tricks.
Right. I see it as an intellectual. That's
But-
right, that's right. I see it intellectually.
Do you see this intellectually?
No.
Why?
There's an immediacy of perception there.
In the same way, why isn't there an immediacy of perception of a truth which is that you are the past, not make it an intellectual affair.
Because time comes in. I imagine that I've gone through time.
What do you mean imagine?
Well, I have an image of myself at 3, I have an image of myself at 10, and I have an image of myself at 17, and I say that they followed in sequence in time, and I see myself having developed over time. I am different now than I was 5 years ago.
Are you?
Well, I'm telling you, that's how I've got that image. That image is of a developmental sequence
I
in
understand all
time,
that, sir.
right?
Yes.
And I exist as a storehouse of memories of a bunch of accumulated incidents.
That means time has produced that.
Right. That is time, right? I see
Time.
that, right.
What is time?
I just described it to you. Time
No,
is my
what is time?
is
Time-
a
no,
movement in
it's a
memory.
movement.
Right. Right.
It's a movement,
That's right.
right? The movement from the past,
That's right. That's it. I moved from the time
from
of
the
3.
from the past, it's a movement.
That's right. From 3 to 10, 17.
It's
right.
a movement.
Right.
Now, is that movement an actuality?
What do you mean by actuality?
Or is it an image?
Huh?
Is it an image or is it an actual fact?
That's
Right?
it, yes.
I mean, you see, if I have an image of, myself and saying I need this, but that may not be an actual fact, right? It's just an
Image is not a fact.
Right. Right. But I feel
I know,
this,
what you feel is like saying, my experience. Your experience may be the most absurd experience.
No, but that's casting me aside by saying, look, you've got this going on. This is I'm describing an actual.
But that's the whole point about the image, is that it imitates an actual fact. You see that you get that feeling it's real. You see, in other words, I feel that I'm really there, an actual fact, looking at the past, at how I developed, right?
Right.
But is that a fact that I'm doing that?
What do you mean?
It's
an actual fact that I get the feeling that I'm looking at.
Yeah, but I mean, is it an actual fact that's the way it all is and was and so on? Do you see that is all the implications of that are correct? I mean,
no, it is not an actual. I can see the incorrectness of my memory, which constructs me in time. I mean, obviously, I was much more at 3 than I can remember. I was much more at 10 than I can remember, and there was much more that went on, obviously, and actuality at 17 than I have in my memory.
yeah, but now the me who is here now
Right.
is looking at all that.
That's right.
But is he there and is he looking? That's the question.
Is the me that is
An actuality,
an actuality
as this is.